Ronaldo to Ronaldo! It's one of the great Old Trafford comebacks. Astonishing!
Manchester United 0, Manchester City 2. And Manchester City go to the final of the Carabao Cup where they will face Tottenham Hotspur. This is the 4th semi-final that we've been in with this manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it's the 4th time we've got knocked out of the semi-final. Every time the rubber meets the road, whenever we have a game where we need to win in order to go to the next round, in order to qualify, we always lose with this manager. He has no clue what he's doing. And it's not the players. People want to say these players are bottlers. It's not the players. It's not the players. Let me give you an example. We are where we are in the league, and many people are saying that we mustn't throw our toys out the cot. We mustn't make a fit because look how well we're doing in the league. We are where we are in the league because of the players, not because of this manager. I said it in my previous videos. Go and look. I said in my previous videos, I said that we are where we are in the league. We're doing so well in the league because of the players, not because of the manager. Because we've got top-class players, Marcus Rashford, Martial, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, top-class players that can win you games on their own. But when these players come up against a system, a well-drilled system, they lose. Because the most important thing in a football club is the system. It's not the players, it's the system. The system is the most important thing than the players. And it's proven with Liverpool, it's proven with Manchester City. Manchester City played us without a number 9. They played Mahrez as the number 9 and they beat us because they've got a system. Manchester City played Chelsea the other day with Kevin De Bruyne as a false number 9 and they beat Chelsea because of the system. It doesn't matter which players play, they still get the victory because it's the system getting the victory and not the individual players. At Manchester United, we do not have a system. We rely on individual players. So the minute you nullify certain individual players, you've nullified United. We don't have a system, and there's evidence in this game that we played Manchester City. No system. Look at how this manager sets it up. This manager has let us down each and every one of the semi-finals. He has let us down. How many more times are we going to say it? How much longer are we going to bear with this guy? He's not good enough, guys. He's shown us he's not good enough. In all 4 of the semi-finals we've been in, it's because of him that we got knocked out. Not because of the players. Because of him. Can you remember the semi-final we played last season with Chelsea? I think it was the FA Cup where we versed Chelsea. And Chelsea at that time were playing each and every game with a back 3. We were playing each and every game with a back 4. We go into that semi-final and we match Chelsea with a back 3. And we lose the game because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer set the team up wrongly. When we got knocked out now in the Champions League, we had to draw. At minimum, all we needed to do was draw with RB Leipzig. The manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, set the team out wrong. He had a wrong formation to start with. Then, he benched the wrong players. So he had the wrong formation to start off with. He picked the wrong players. When he brought on, he benched Paul Pogba. When he brought on Paul Pogba in the second half, Paul Pogba changed the game for us. Paul Pogba got us into the game. That was down to the manager picking the wrong formation and picking the wrong players. How many more times against Manchester City where we got knocked out now? Wrong players. We start at the back. The centre backs. Eric Bailly, according to even the manager, he's seen it and we all have seen it as well. Eric Bailly over the last couple games, once from Victor Lindelof when he went out injured, Eric Bailly has been our best centre-back. Eric Bailly is better than Harry Maguire. Victor Lindelof is better than Harry Maguire. If anyone needs to get dropped, it is Harry Maguire. I don't care about Harry Maguire starting each and every Premier League game for us and playing the most minutes in Europe. That means nothing. How can we celebrate that? It's like in school, you celebrate someone at 100% class attendance. How can you celebrate that person when That person, you can say he got 100% class attendance, but he will not win the main awards. The main awards in school is the academic awards. So you'll get a guy that maybe, let's bring it down to a term. You got a first term, second term, third term, fourth term in school. Let's bring it down to one term, first term. This guy got 100% school attendance for the first term. And then you get another guy that maybe was absent for 10 days, but he'll get the academic achievement because he was much more diligent in his work. The other guy just came to school, but he never do his work properly. The other guy missed a couple days, but when he came to school, he done his work properly. That is the case with Harry Maguire. That's the case with Harry Maguire. He's coming to school. Every day he's coming to school. Every game he's playing, but he's not doing his work properly. He's not doing his work properly. So how can we celebrate that? You can't. Harry Maguire is not a top-class defender. He's a good defender, but he's not a top-class defender. He should never be at Manchester United. The fact that we paid 80 million for this guy, and City got Ruben Diaz that they paid 65 million for him, and Ruben Diaz is head and shoulders better than Harry Maguire. How can you not lay that transfer at the manager's feet? There are so many things that you can shoot Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with. He should not be in a job. He should never be in this job. There are so many things. When you look at the transfers that he's made, it's not good. It's not good. The only transfer that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made that has been a success is Bruno Fernandes. Every other transfer is a failure. Harry Maguire for 80 million is a failure. Aaron Wan-Bissaka for 55 million. We bought Aaron Wan-Bissaka for 55 million. Manchester City bought João Cancelo for 60 million. And it's chalk and cheese. Once again, you can't compare the two. João Cancelo is much better than Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Much better than Wan-Bissaka. This manager bought Daniel James, failure. Harry Maguire, failure. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, failure. Donny van de Beek that cannot start. Alex Telles was an okay signing. 18 million, okay, it's a good signing for 18 million, but in the grand scheme of things, he was never coming to start games for us. Never. Reguilon is much better than him, but okay, we couldn't sign Reguilon because Real Madrid was offering it like a loan, and you couldn't accept those deals. But his transfers have been poor, but no one will speak about that because all the pundits are his friends. They've all played with him. They're all his friends and they all want a job at Manchester United like Darren Fletcher got right now. So they will never speak about him. As I've said multiple times, if you want the truth, come onto YouTube and come onto channels like mine. I will give you the honest truth. This manager should never be in a job. Look at how he set the team up to play now against Manchester City. The way he set the team up was wrong. He chose the wrong players. He chose, how can we bench Eric Bailly? He admitted as well, Eric Bailly has been extremely good. How can you bench Eric Bailly and bring Victor Lindelof back? And inevitably, Victor Lindelof was at mistake for the first goal. Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw were at mistake for the first goal. If we played Eric Bailly, you never know. Eric Bailly could have maybe cleared that cross. But he chose Victor Lindelof ahead of Eric Bailly. That's a mistake he made, and we paid for it. Starting Scott McTominay, we've all said, most of us can admit, Scott McTominay should not be at Manchester United. At the very least, he should be a squad player. He should not be starting games for Manchester United. He should not be starting when we are playing Manchester City. And you saw it. They ran rings around him and Fred. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer chose Scott McTominay. Then the way he sets us up, counter-attacking football, that's the only system or tactic that this manager has, is counter-attacking football. And it's not working this season. It worked last season because the teams did not know how to play us. Now they know all Manchester United want to do is counter-attack. It hasn't worked when we versed Arsenal in the league. Arsenal beats us 1-0. It never worked. We wanted to play on the counter-attack. It never worked when we played Chelsea in the league. We drew with them 0-0. It never worked now when we played Manchester City. They beat us 2-0. The counter-attacking is no longer working against the big teams. What we gave Oli praise for last season, when he was beating all the big teams, all of a sudden he can't beat not one big team. And add Spurs into that as well. We lost 6-1 to Spurs. wanted to play on the counter-attack. So, we praised Oli last season for beating the big teams. All of a sudden, he can't beat the big teams anymore because the big teams right now have studied Manchester United and they understand the only tactic, the only plan that this manager has is counter-attack. So you nullify the counter, you nullify Manchester United. That's what they done. So this manager chose the wrong players in a semi-final where we needed to win, a one-off game we needed to win. When the rubber meets the road, he's failed us. He chose the wrong players and he chose the wrong tactic for the game. Where Manchester City outplayed us. You can say we managed the game. I don't even agree with that. Manchester City outplayed us. Manchester City deserved to win that game, and the 2-0 of that game was a true reflection of the game. Manchester City in the first half had a couple of goals offside that they put in the back of the net, but it was offside. They hit the post with Kevin De Bruyne early on in the game. They controlled the tempo of the game. They dictated the tempo of the game. They controlled possession. They had all the possession. When we got the ball, we were so clueless. So this manager has dropped us, guys. 4 times now he has dropped us. How much longer are we gonna bear with this manager? Now you get people that are saying don't throw your toys out the cot because of the league position we're challenging for a title. Look here, guys, we are not gonna win the Premier League. We are not going to win the Premier League. We're not good enough to win the Premier League. You've got Liverpool and Manchester City who are better than us. Who have managers that have won this league before, that know exactly what it takes to win this league. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a novice. He's not good enough. He's shown us 4 times now, and you can even say 5 if you want to include the RB Leipzig game in the Champions League. He has shown us this many times that he doesn't have what it takes to get us silverware and to take us to the next level. He doesn't. So this season, I admit to you this season, that at the end of the season, Manchester United will be off first place with a maximum of 5 points. A maximum of 5 points. And that, from a challenging point of view, is good. Because that does mean you are in the race. It does mean. But guys, we are not going to win that. We are not going to win the Premier League. What's the use just challenging when we're not going to win the Premier League? We've got the players to win the Premier League, but we don't have the manager to win the Premier League. We need to do something about that guy. Now, next season, end of the season, the transfer window, we're going to give him more money to spend. He's going to get more money to spend. He came out now in his post-match press conference and he said that it was the quality of Manchester City that beats us. I'm sorry, but why is he always looking at the quality? Why can't someone look at him and say we lost the game? Because yes, the quality of the manager lost us the game. The quality of the manager lost us the game, not just the quality of the players. Stop looking, guys, at the players. Stop looking at the players and start looking at the manager. Can it be that the quality of the manager lost us that game? Not always the players, guys. Marcus Rashford is better than Sterling. Anthony Martial is better than Mahrez. Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, they're better than Gundogan. Maybe not KDB, and that's another thing I want to address to you. The Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes comparisons has to stop. You have to understand levels. I'm a Manchester United supporter, but I'm 100% honest. I've got no biasm in me at all. And I will admit to you, you need to stop comparing Bruno Fernandes with Kevin De Bruyne. Understand levels in football. Understand that Kevin De Bruyne is the best number 10 in world football. He has been the best number 10 in world football for a couple of years now. Bruno Fernandes just arrived. He is performing well, but understand levels, guys. Understand that you need to stop just looking at statistics. Stop just looking at stats and looking at Bruno's goals and looking at Bruno's assists. Bruno scores a lot of penalties. And this performance that Bruno threw out, which is a poor performance, this is how Bruno Fernandes performs. Us that watch Manchester United game in, game out, this is how he plays. It's just that in most games, he'll get a penalty. And so the penalty will mask his performance. Or he'll get an assist. And the assist will mask his performance. But this is how he performs. He never runs games. Bruno Fernandes can decide a game for you, but he will never run a game for you. And that's why Real Madrid and Barcelona did not look at him, because they want players that run games. Modric, Toni Kroos, these guys run games for you. They don't just decide games, they run games. And that's what you need when you are a top club. You need players that run games for you. So understand levels and never ever compare Bruno Fernandes with Kevin De Bruyne again. Bruno Fernandes had a shambolic game. Kevin De Bruyne had a top class game. Kevin De Bruyne steps up for Manchester City at the biggest moments when they need him. Bruno Fernandes, in all the semi-finals we've played, hasn't stepped up. So I'm not saying Bruno's a bad player. Bruno's a top class player, but he ain't the level of Kevin De Bruyne. He ain't the level of Kevin De Bruyne. So stop comparing them. The stats, you can compare them with the stats, but the eye test is the best thing in football. That's why we have scouts. Because if all we were doing was running football of statistics, then you would not need a scout. Then teams are wasting money, because all you do is just print a document that shows you the statistics of each and every player, and you choose the number one player that got the best statistics. But we don't do that. We still go to the stadiums and we still watch them, because we want to see, do the stats match their performance? Do they perform as the stats are saying? And when you look at a player like Nicolas Pepe, a prime example, that in Liga 1 that season, when Arsenal bought him, that season he was the best player in Liga 1. He scored and assisted the most goals in Liga 1. But when you watch his performances don't result in that. His performances are not good enough. He's hit and miss. And so Arsenal paid 70 million for him based on statistics. They did not do due diligence. Because if you done due diligence and watched him game in, game out, you would see that Nicolas Pepe is not worth 70 million, he's worth 40 million. That the statistics are lying. That the stats are painting another picture, another true picture of him. Another prime example is Zinedine Zidane. Zinedine Zidane did not have statistics. He did not have goals and assists, but he was the greatest ever midfielder in the history of the game. Because when you look at the eye, you see what he's bringing. Same with Xavi, same with Iniesta. So Bruno Fernandes is stat padding, as we call. But when you look at his performances, he does not run games for us. He makes a lot of mistakes when it comes to his passing. His passing is not world class. His passing is not top class. His passing is hit and miss. Many of the times when Bruno Fernandes has a through ball that he can make, he misses that through ball. Many a times. So I'm not degrading Bruno. I'm trying to open your eyes and show you that don't judge players on stats. Judge players on performances. So, we deserve to lose this game. We deserve to lose this game. We were outplayed. We did not come into this game wanting to play football. We did not come into this game wanting the football. We came into this game wanting grass to run into. That was the manager's plan or tactic for this game, was counter-attack. And that's the only thing this manager has. How can you be at one of the biggest clubs in the world, the biggest club in England, and your only tactic is counter-attack? So we came into this game counter-attacking. That's what we wanted. And it did not work out. And then when counter-attack doesn't work out, the other tactic is get a penalty. The other tactic is play for a penalty. And you saw that with Martial at the end of the game. He was playing for a penalty. Because that's the only thing this manager has, is counter-attacking. When counter-attack doesn't work, his plan B, or not even plan B, the plan A from the get-go is to win a penalty. That's the manager that we have. And what Manchester City done, Pep Guardiola schooled Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. From the midfield, he schooled Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because Pep Guardiola played with one holding midfielder and had basically two number 10s, or one number 8 and one number 10. But I'm going to call Gundogan a number 10 because you saw how he played, and Kevin De Bruyne is a number 10. So he played with two number 10s and one holding midfielder. And we could not cope with the movements of Gundogan. We could not cope. Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne ran rings around Scott McTominay and Fred. They had no answer for those two players. So that's where Pep schooled Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He gave Gundogan a free role to go wherever he wanted on the pitch, and we could not deal with that movement. Ole could not deal with that movement. Ole couldn't see it, and he couldn't understand how to negate that. Pep Guardiola schooled him in that. And then another way Pep Guardiola schooled him was when you look at the positions of their fullbacks. They made sure that Zinchenko did not attack because Marcus Rashford was on that wing. So if Zinchenko attacked, it would have meant that Marcus Rashford therefore had grass to run into and space to run into at the back. So they did not allow that. They made sure that Zinchenko stayed behind and they gave Cancelo a free role. Because they knew Cancelo's playing on the right, Paul Pogba's playing on the left. Cancelo's coming up against Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba's not playing as a left winger. Paul Pogba's playing as a left attacking midfielder. There's a difference. And Paul Pogba's not going to run in behind you. So they gave João Cancelo the freedom to go forward. And João Cancelo was even playing as a central midfielder. And that's Pep Guardiola's tactics. He's got the best tactics. He's got the best ideas in world football. He does things that no one else is doing. Who makes their fullback go and play as a central midfielder? That's what Pep Guardiola does with João Cancelo. João Cancelo comes into the midfield and he's playing in the midfield the whole game. It's only he goes into the fullback position when it's time to defend. But when it's time to attack, he goes into the central midfield position. And so Pep Guardiola schooled Oli. And when City lost the ball, they knew that our only tactic is counter-attack, and they knew once they lose the ball, United can score. So what they were doing, once we lost the ball, they were pressing with high intensity to win it back. And if they couldn't win it back, they were drawing fouls. That's why you saw many of the times the midfield players or the defenders were pulling Fred down, or Bruno Fernandes or Paul Pogba down when we wanted to start the counter. So if they couldn't win the ball back, when they lost it, then they would make a foul to stop the counter-attack. And that's how Pep Guardiola nullified Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It was not rocket science. And Ole, unfortunately, you look at it, people talk about Ole's in-game management and they say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's in-game management is poor. Guys, let me submit to you. His overall management is poor. It's not just in-game management, it's overall management that is poor. It's from our lack of system. We don't have a system. We don't have a style of play. We don't have passing patterns. That's all done in the training ground. Then when we come onto the football pitch, that in-game management there is also poor. So what you see when a team steps on the pitch as a result of what he's doing outside of the pitch in the training ground, which is nothing. So, his in-game management against Manchester City once again proves that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no clue what he is doing. How can you... We've got 5 substitutions in the Carabao Cup. You've got 5 substitutions. Ole waited till the 70th minute to make a substitution. We are losing the game. We need to score a goal. Ole waits till the 70th minute to make a substitution. One substitution. Then we are 2-0 down. Ole's next substitution is Donny van der Beek. Bringing Donny van der Beek on the 87th minute, 2-0 down. What do you expect Donny van der Beek to do? Why couldn't Donny van der Beek and Mason Greenwood come on in the 60th minute? Why couldn't he make those 2 substitutions? Because he wants to play on the counter-attack. Because he's hoping for a penalty. That's why he does not want to win the game where we're passing, where we're moving the ball, where we're scoring free and open play goals. He does not want to win the game like that. He wants to win the game by counter-attacking, or he wants to win the game by penalties. These are the decisions that this manager has made. Not making substitutions. Wait until the 70th minute to make a substitution where we need to score a goal. He's done this all before. People say he's learning on the job. He's not learning on the job. He has no clue what he's doing. At one certain point in time, another thing that I want to bring to your attention, guys, is that this is a manager that has done nothing in football. Nothing. The only thing he has done is come to the Premier League and relegate Cardiff. Pep Guardiola for the whole 90 minutes of the game was on the sideline, shouting at his players, giving instructions to his players, helping his players on the touchline. Pep Guardiola has won everything in football. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has won nothing in football. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is sitting in the stands, crossing his legs, like Manchester United are 5-0 up. I've seen Pep Guardiola's teams lead 3-0 and Pep still be on the sideline shouting at his players because he's demanding perfection. He's demanding perfection. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no clue what he's doing. That's why he sits in the stands. The one moment where in this game when he came down from the stands, he came and he babbled his own thing. You look at his words, you look at his mouth. He did not say anything. Nothing. He said a bunch of things, but he's saying nothing. He has no clue what he's doing. Open your eyes. Now we are playing the next game. We are playing Watford in the FA Cup third round. We are going to beat Watford. They're a championship team. We are going to beat them. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes out and he says he's going to make changes. Of course you're going to make changes, Ole. Of course you're going to make changes. You're not going to make changes because we lost. You're going to make we lost and you're not going to make changes because we lost and you are upset because we lost. No, you're going to make changes because we've lost in a championship team who is very easy to beat. And so he says that Bruno Fernandes is going to talk to Bruno and most probably Bruno will be on the bench. Of course Bruno will be on the bench. We are playing a championship team. So yes, we will beat Watford. They are a championship team. So let's look forward to the Watford game. We will beat them. We will go to the next round, guys. I'm tired of this manager. You can continue dealing with this manager. That ain't my manager. That's my team. I support Manchester United. That's my players. I support those players. But I don't support this manager. He's not good enough. Smash the like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all, guys.